TJ Holmes reconnects with one remaining show ally. Former GMA 3 anchors TJ Holmes and Amy Robach were in hot water after their romance was exposed. They became persona non grata and were fired from ABC in January 2023. It has not been an easy road, but TJ just showed that one Good Morning America co-host has consistently remained an ally. So much so that they reconnected for a fun time out. Keep reading for more details and to see the snap they took. TJ kept one co-anchor close. When it came out that TJ Holmes and Amy Robach were being intimate before their respective divorces were revealed, it was the scandal that rocked GMA. The duo had been working together, but since no one knew that they were splitting from their partners, the optics were horrible. They were soon let go from ABC and their jobs, but they stuck together. TJ and Amy are still together and have since gotten engaged, although their time on Good Morning America seems like a distant memory. However, TJ has maintained one close friendship from his time on the hit morning show. He and Michael Strahan are close allies and recently caught up. TJ posted a series of summer snaps that included running a half marathon, his daughter, loving on Amy, and hanging out with Michael. He captioned the snap, "The fellas," and fans gushed over it. Of course, his followers were most taken aback by how grown up his daughter was. They could not believe she was a teenager now. Baby Sabine is no baby, a beautiful young woman. "I know good and well that is not baby Sabine. Oh my gosh, she's growing up. Tell her the internet aunties adore her and she's still so beautiful." After the former GMA anchor's fans got over seeing Sabine as a young lady, they moved on to the Michael Strahan-TJ Holmes reunion. "Glad to see you keep in touch with Michael. Love all the photos. You all look great. Seeing Sabine, she is beautiful, growing up fast. Michael Strahan looking great. I live all the photos. TJ, you usually don't post much." Praise for the couple. Although they were once scrutinized, fans had nothing but praise for TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. They loved seeing them still together and the fact that they made it beyond GMA. Many wondered when the wedding was and if they had secretly tied the knot. It will be exciting to see who from ABC, if anyone, is ultimately invited to the big day. For now, they are living in the moment and enjoying their time together. TJ understood it. On a professional level, he got it. Everyone was just trying to protect their own turf, their own carefully curated image, but that understanding didn't make the sting any less real. He'd spent over 2 decades building a career on relationships, on the trust and camaraderie of the newsroom. To have a large portion of that network evaporate overnight was a profound and disorienting loneliness. He and Amy would joke darkly that they were in their own personal witness protection program, but the joke always carried a heavy dose of truth. There were a few who stuck their necks out quietly. A producer from a different network sent a supportive text. A former agent offered a sympathetic ear. But Michael Strahan was the constant, unshakable presence. It wasn't ostentatious. It wasn't about making a public statement or picking a side in a media firestorm. Michael, TJ reasoned, was far too media savvy for that. His support was quieter, more profound, and in many ways, far more meaningful. It started with a simple phone call on the day the news broke. TJ was at home, the blinds drawn, a miasma of shock and shame settling over him. He'd been staring at the wall, his mind a relentless loop of what-ifs and how did we get here's. His phone buzzed. He almost didn't answer it. He was tired of the cold calls, the reporters posing as friends, but he saw the name, Michael Strahan. He picked up. "Hey man," Michael's voice was calm, steady, no judgment, no probing questions. "Just checking in, you okay?" It was the simplest question in the world, yet it was the first time anyone had asked him that without an ulterior motive. TJ broke down. He didn't sob, but his voice cracked as he tried to give a standard "I'm fine" answer. Michael didn't let him get away with it. "I know it's tough. I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what you're going through, but I know what it's like to have your life dissected in public. It's a different beast, but it's the same jungle. Just breathe and don't make any decisions for a while." That was the beginning of their new, more profound friendship. In the studio, they had been co-workers, a part of the vast Good Morning America machine. They'd engage in friendly banter, share the occasional post-show debrief, but the relationship was professional, collegial. They hadn't been the fellas. But when TJ and Amy were cast out, the nature of their bond changed. The professional element was gone, stripped away. What remained was purely human. Michael never asked TJ for his side of the story. He never asked for details about the affair with Amy. He didn't need the scoop. He saw the situation for what it was, a personal tragedy playing out on a very public stage. He saw the man, not the headline. He would text TJ every few days, not the long, preachy sermons that TJ might have expected from a motivational speaker, but short, humorous messages. A picture of an old, beat-up car that looked like TJ's first car, a meme about the absurdity of the news cycle, a simple "thinking of you." When Amy and and TJ were officially let go, Michael was one of the first people TJ called. He didn't offer any platitudes about things happening for a reason or new doors opening. That was not his way. He was pragmatic. "All right, man," Michael said. "That chapter is closed. What's next? What are you going to do?" It was a question of forward motion. It was the kind of tough love only a true friend could deliver. Navigating the new reality was awkward. For a while, TJ and Amy were everywhere in the tabloids. They were papped getting coffee, walking their dog, just trying to live. The scrutiny was relentless. Michael, meanwhile, was still very much a part of the GMA family, a beloved fixture on the show. Their paths could have easily diverged forever. It would have been the simplest, most risk-averse option for Michael to let the friendship fade, to adopt a respectful distance, but he didn't. He stood firm. There was a moment about 6 months after the scandal that crystallized everything for TJ. He and Amy were at a low-key restaurant in Brooklyn, a place they'd discovered that felt safe, a little sanctuary. It was a weeknight, the place was half empty. They were sitting in a quiet corner trying to enjoy a rare, uninterrupted meal. TJ was mid-sentence telling a story about a frustrating job rejection when he looked up and saw Michael Strahan walking in with a small group of friends. Time seemed to slow down. TJ's first instinct was to tense up, to brace himself for the awkwardness. He saw the look on the faces of Michael's compagnons as they spotted him and Amy. He'd seen that look 100 times by then. A flicker of recognition, a flash of interest, a hint of judgment. He braced himself for the polite nod from a distance, the unspoken agreement to pretend they hadn't seen each other. He even started to mentally prepare a way to leave early. But Michael didn't do that. He didn't hesitate. He excused himself from his group, walked straight over to TJ and Amy's table, and gave TJ a firm, warm handshake and a quick hug. He then turned to Amy, greeting her with an easy smile. "Hey, you two, how are you doing?" he asked with genuine curiosity. He chatted for a few minutes, asking about their plans, making casual small talk. He treated them like the normal, happy couple they were trying to be. It was a performance of normalcy, but it was rooted in truth. He didn't linger too long, knowing the power of a quick, positive interaction. He told them to have a great night, gave TJ another meaningful nod, and rejoined his own friends. The entire exchange lasted less than 3 minutes. The impact, however, was immense. As he walked away, TJ noticed the other people in the restaurant. They were watching. He could feel the weight of their stares shift. Michael Strahan, the former football player, the Emmy-winning host, had just publicly and unequivocally endorsed them. He had shown that they were not pariahs, not lepers, but just people, his friends. He had taken a simple, powerful stand, all by crossing a room. That gesture alone changed TJ's entire evening. He felt a lightness he hadn't felt in months. He could breathe again. Michael's act of solidarity was a masterclass in allyship. He never had to explain himself. He never had to issue a public statement. His actions spoke louder than any press release ever could. In the world of high-stakes media, where public image is a fragile currency, Michael Strahan risked a little of his own shine just to let his friend know he wasn't alone. He understood, perhaps more than anyone, that the most valuable thing you can give a person in a crisis is not advice, not money, but the simple, undeniable gift of presence. The summer snap TJ posted later, the one that the article describes, was a direct result of that quiet, resilient friendship. A few years ago, a photo with Michael would have been just another celebrity coworker photo. Now it was a testament to survival. The photo of the fellas wasn't about two media personalities. It was about two men who had navigated the treacherous waters of fame and fortune and found a friendship that was stronger than the scandal. TJ looked relaxed, his arm around Michael's shoulder, a genuine smile on his face. He was, for a moment, just TJ, having a drink with his buddy. After the initial media frenzy faded away, the rebuilding process began in earnest. TJ and Amy, who had been fired from ABC in what felt like a public execution, decided to take control of their own narrative. They launched their own podcast, Amy and TJ, where they could speak freely, not just about their relationship, but about journalism, current events, and life. The podcast was a lifeline, a way to reconnect with their audience and their passion on their own terms. Michael was one of the first to promote it, a brief but crucial plug on his social media that sent a surge of listeners their way.